Hello. In the previous session, we performed the sentiment analysis, in which we just have the single feature column. In this session, we will use the dataset having the multiple feature column. Here is the dataset of the Amazon's magazine review. It contains the reviewer ID that represents the user who has added the review. Review time that represents the timestamp on which the review has been added. And a summary that represents the title for the review. And the review text contains the brief description about the magazine. Recommended flag indicate that the whether user will recommended this magazine to their friends or not. So here review text and summary are the feature column, where recommended column is the label column. I have created the folder for session 29, added the training data set, create an input model. Not that I just have loaded the three column, where the dataset has the file column, but we do not require all of them, so I have created a property for these three columns only, and also created the result model, which includes the field for the predicted label and the score. Just like the previous session, in the demo class I have loaded the dataset. For this example, I am going to create a pipeline for data pre-processing first, then append the trainer to it. Let's select the three required columns, that is a summary, review text, and recommended. Convert the summary to the featureized text. We also need to featureize the review text. We can drop the summary and the review text, as we will use the featureized column for the further operations. Now we need to combine those two columns. For this, use the concatenate method. Output name column will be the features, and input name column will be a feature underscore summary and a feature underscore review text. And now we need to create the label column. For this, use the convert type. Input column name will be the recommended. Here I am not passing the output data kind, so it will use the same data type as the input column, that is Boolean. Data pre-processing pipeline is created. Now we need to create the trainer. This time I am going to use the SGD calibrated, that is stochastic gradient. Again, I am not going to into the deep concept of this algorithm. You can refer the Wikipedia or some other site for the better example. There are two overloaded methods. Even every method has the two overloaded version. The first will take the instance of the options, in which we can set the various kind of options for that algorithm and the trainer. And the second is like the helper method. It just takes the few important parameter only. Internally, this method will also create an instance of the option and call the above method. Till now we have used the helper methods. Now I'm going to create the instance of the options for the SDG calibrated trainer. Label column name will be the recommended that we have created. Number of iteration will be 100. We want to shuffle the data, so pass the true. Now we have the data pipeline as well as the trainer. So open it to create the training pipeline. Create a model from that training pipeline by passing the training data view. Create the prediction engine for this model. Let me paste the few example for prediction and also paste its helper method. Update the program.cs file, execute this demo, save all the files and run the project. Here we got the true for the first and the false for the second. You can see that the first example it contains the positive word where the second example has the negative word. Let's see what we have learned in this session. Like the previous session, in this session we have performed the sentiment analysis here. But this example is different from that in the various way. For example, in the input model we have just created a properties for the field that we are going to load. Use the values for the multiple columns for the visualize and they combine into the single column. For convert type we have not passed the data kind, so it will pick it from the input column. Created the data pipeline and the training pipeline individual and they use the SDG calibrated trainer. And for the trainer use the method that takes the options. Stay tuned for the next session.